Well, that's it. You guys ready?
I'm ready, man.
I guess so, dude. I don't. Am I ready? I don't feel like I'm ready yet.
I feel like you would feel more ready if you had done a mock draft at any point in the offseason, man.
No, I wouldn't be ready.
He'd already.
It wouldn't.
To be fair, he did
He
one.
did do
mock
one.
draft.
He did do
We
one.
had the footage of that.
And, you know, also to be fair, in at least one of your leagues, you have the 101, so it's not like you're going to make money. It's like I'm either going to have JT or I'm trading JT.
Yep.
All right, this is your forecast.
Forecast.
Bang.
All right, we're doing a mock draft. We got to get one more in before the actual draft happens.
Yep,
So-
and now this time around, you know, we're not basing it off of one highlight. This is just everything you've seen, heard, feel in your gut. You know, I know there's going to be a lot of gut feeling picks
That's
here.
the only
So,
place I
right
listen.
here.
yes, sir. Hey, if you can't trust your gut, who can you trust?
Yeah. Santa Claus.
You know, when the going gets tough, I got to get going.
Well, you trust your gut with that Chipotle, so I mean,
Dude, anybody would. Is Chipotle
I don't.
somewhere you
I
trust?
do not trust my gut with Chipotle, but I'm gonna eat it. Like, it's gonna hurt.
Dude, Chipotle?
I'm not going to skip out on Chipotle.
It's like fresh ingredients or something.
Oh, it's
I don't know.
delicious. I mean, it's somewhat healthy for you if you make the right options or pick the right options.
I
So,
mean, I'm used to like Taco Bell. That don't do nothing to me.
oh yeah.
I got-
Well, Taco Bell
I got
also
an-
delicious.
I got an iron gut or something.
you know what though? Taco Bell never does anything to me, but Chipotle, it always tears me up. I guess I'm just.
It's that real
Weak.
food, man.
Yeah,
You're
dude.
supposed to. It's clearing you out.
Weak-blooded.
Added benefits.
Weak-blooded.
I got so used to the shitty food. The
You're-
good food makes
Yep.
me feel better.
You're like new football. You love that, like they can't handle like big hits and stuff. You're like, oh,
It's dangerous.
that looked like it hurt.
It's concussions.
That should be a penalty.
Look what it did to Antonio Brown.
Yeah.
You guys ready? Are you going first?
For what?
The
We got the
You didn't
101.
explain
we're
it,
going-
bro. Explain it to the people.
yeah, Nate's good at explaining.
All right, I got you guys, man. So then we're gonna do a mock for a 12-team start 10 Superflex league. You know, PPR pretty much stock for basically what most leagues are nowadays. So no tight end premium, so we won't have any crazy jumps from Warren and Loveland. But other than that, man,
Did
pretty
you say
simple.
TQB?
Superflex. Yep.
Okay.
Okay. Wait. So who's got first pick? Me?
Yeah, we'll start with you.
We'll go this way.
Ashton Genty, easiest pick of the draft.
Yeah, I mean, there's nothing even to really talk about, right? I feel at this point it's beyond consensus.
Absolutely.
That's what it's gonna be.
Give me Genty.
Right into the heart, probably the hardest pick.
Yeah, I think this is kind of like the tone setter, right? And I think it comes down to one thing. It's whether or not you think Omarion Hampton is a first round pick or not. I think the hit rate on first round running backs is so high that has to be the pick if he's a first rounder. But if he's not, you know, Cam Ward's the 101, so I get it. That being said, it's Omarion Hampton for me. You know, I do think he's going to slide into the first round, and the nice thing about that is it'll probably be the back end of the first round. He's going to go into a good situation already. You know, they're probably going to have an established offense, a good quarterback. So these are things I like.
Yeah.
I was gonna say that I disagree with you. The most important thing is whether Travis Hunter is going to play wide receiver or not.
Yeah, that's totally fair.
And that's what I'm going with. I'm going with Travis Hunter.
Travis Hunter.
And
think he's
I'm
gonna
not
be a
mad
wide
at it,
receiver.
man. It's
That's wild.
I have really been warming to Travis Hunter sliding, you know, into the first half of the
Did you
first
guys
round.
see his routes that he was running at the?
Oh yeah, they were
his little
ridiculous.
pro day?
Like just so many steps.
It looked like he was playing basketball and trying to
Yeah.
cross somebody up. But yeah, I wish somebody was talking about it, saying like, "Oh yeah, I wish you like they don't do these routes in the NFL. They don't do these at any level."
Yeah.
Like, I really wish that he would have just hit like slant, like an easy slant route, like a go route, just like routes that you actually see. But because I think he's quick. I
Yeah.
think he
was in
smooth.
show off mode. He was
Yeah.
like, "Look what I can do."
Yeah,
You know?
like
if I can do this right here, right now, imagine me just doing a normal like post hook.
Yeah. Well, like, I wish I would have seen. I think the biggest one for me is the slant because I think he is so quick that I think he could just break off like AJ Brown does all the
Yeah,
time.
absolutely. You know, just catch those and it's just beat one man and
Yeah, and then
hit
gone.
top gear.
But it would have been good to see that, in my opinion. But I think, dude, I think this is like the easiest pick for me. Is I think Cam Ward is the biggest name right there. I think I like it was tough because I wanted to go Ted, but like I think with a quarterback, what are you? You wild. it's called. Yeah, no, I think Cam Ward I think quarterback, that's easy. That's easy money right there.
Yeah, I mean, especially if he is the 101 like everybody's predicting.
Yeah.
That's awesome value, you know.
Yeah.
But that puts me in a tough spot too, because as much as I love the running backs in this class, you know, if Tet or Matthew Golden gets that high draft capital, they're going to be right there for me. Man, I feel safer going running back here.
Yeah.
Yeah. Give me Trevion Henderson. I think I'll go Henderson.
I think.
Which is surprising for me.
Now, would this change if Trevion goes to a bad situation and Quinshawn goes to a good situation?
I will say for those next, including the Ohio State guys and then about 2 guys after them, it's going to be capital and situation dependent. Yeah. I think they're all very different players, obviously, but similar to how I view them as far as their odds of panning out in the league, right? Yeah. So, like, if Henderson is a second-round pick to Dallas, I think that's awesome. Like, that's I'm totally in. Or if he's a second-round pick to the Chargers or something, I'm totally in on that.
Right.
And vice versa for Judkins or something. But, yeah, I'm not comfortable making the choice between Tet and Golden for who I think goes higher as a receiver. Mm-hmm. One of them, for sure, is going to be a first-round pick. Probably both. Yeah. But we'll see.
Well, I'm going to have to.
Yeah,
I'm going to have to do exactly that. I'm going with Golden.
Oh, you're just sniping him from him?
I mean, he wanted me to make the choice between the 2 of them, so he didn't have to.
Yeah, I didn't want to have to make the choice, and I'm okay with that choice, honestly.
I wouldn't have picked either.
I'm just going to do a preview of the hot take that I might have next week. I think Matthew Golden's going at before Tet.
Yeah.
I've seen a lot of people.
There's some smoke, man. Yeah.
That's fine. He can go before.
So is that who you're going with?
No, I'm actually going Tyler Warren. My team at the end of this is going to be so dope.
He said, "I'm starting a full lineup, baby. I'm
like for real. I just need to get a wide receiver. I can get a wide receiver.
Yeah, you'll be loaded. That makes it easy for me. It's Tet now. Yeah. He's going to be a first-round pick, most likely.
I would have
potentially even in the top half of the draft. So
I would have liked to go on Tet, but I think Tyler Warren. I don't think he would have been there. Just this little mock draft. I don't think he would. I don't think with the way Klopper is picking, he's all over the place. So.
That seems really low for Tet.
I agree, doesn't it?
That's
well, that's the thing, right? It's if the draft goes the way that I think based on our mock, we're expecting the draft to go a certain way, right?
Right. Yeah.
So that's just it. Kind of seems like we're all on the same page about the direction of the draft.
Yeah.
But one pick changes all of that, right? Like if Tet McMillan goes 8 overall or something, he's probably the 103, 104, like at worst. Yeah. So.
Yeah, I think Tet and Golden are kind of interchangeable because like they both are going to have high capital.
Yeah, at this point it's pick your poison, before we get a situation in capital.
I would want Tet though over Golden just because I like the way Tet is. I like him as a player more.
Yeah.
I like the tall, big guy.
You like those highlight reel catches that he makes?
Absolutely.
Yeah, those are cool.
The reason I like Pearsall.
How'd that work out?
He got shot, dude. Like, what do you want? He got freaking shot. Oh, it's an excuse. Yeah, he just got freaking shot. Oh, what?
Do you guys want to hear my hot take for this video? I don't think any of us drafted Shedeur Sanders until about the 210.
I can tell you.
I can tell you.
I don't think any of us want to be the guy who has to draft Shedeur
Sanders. We're going to need like 10 more picks.
Which means I know it's going to end up being me, and I'm not happy about it. I just started looking at it, and I was like, man, I'm going to have to draft him.
I'm going to have to draft Mika because Jude told me to do that in the last one.
Egbuka?
Yeah.
And you know why he's saying that? He's been looking at the mock drafts, man. That's a very popular Steelers pick.
Oh, really?
Egbuka and somebody else that I'll wait to name on my pick, maybe.
You're not going to get him.
Oh, I picked for you. Hopefully he don't pick.
I was really hoping that you would let me take Egbuka because I think that starting 4 would have been really good. But
who do you think the best pick is?
I think
outside of setting your lineup this week.
Yeah, I think Quinshawn. I love Judkins. I'm a big Ohio State guy, and I would have wanted to go Burden just to keep the wide receiver because I don't think Burden's all that far off either. Yeah. But I like Quinshawn. I think he's gonna play no matter where he's at. So yeah, picking him with the 10th overall ain't too shabby.
No,
So
not
you
at all.
guys-
Especially because when I took the last running back that went, it was a discussion between
Yeah.
the two players. So to
Yeah,
get him
I
at
mean-
10 is like,
Yeah, and like I said, that could. I think Travion Henderson is interchangeable with him. Even if he goes to a bad situation, I still don't think that's a bad.
right,
thing.
yeah. They're just different players, so
He's gonna
it's,
play.
their roles are going to be different at the
Mhm.
NFL level, but
Yeah.
both talented. Well, that makes it easy for me. You can stay in quarterback because Jackson Dart's coming home to me, baby.
That's what I was.
Jackson Dart is, in my opinion, going to be a first-round pick.
Yeah.
It seems.
I believe that.
It seems that in the 20s or so,
Yeah.
he's starting to catch some heat, especially with Pittsburgh. I've seen Seattle. The Darnold contract hasn't out after this season.
Yeah.
And I mean, obviously Pittsburgh's the dream, right? Because that's like he's starting week 1 most likely in that case scenario. So even though it's a little later in the first round,
Yeah.
I mean, it's a situation where he gets to step in. He's got George Pickens, DK Metcalf,
If he
the
gets
longest
that,
tenured coach
yeah,
in the NFL who's
absolutely.
never had a non-winning season.
Yeah.
It's a really good culture and positive situation, I think, for him. So
Yeah.
that's my hope if I'm taking him at the 111 is in Pittsburgh.
No, and we touched on like hot takes for the draft a little bit, and I was thinking it's a hot take whether you say Jackson Dart's going to be a first round pick or not going to be a first round pick. It's like hot for everybody.
Yeah, I agree with Nate though. I think he's going to be the first round pick.
Yeah.
I thought you were going to go somewhere
he's
else.
stocked up so high. His stock is.
Oh, yeah,
He
it's-
might not even make it to the Steelers, but
Yeah, honestly, I mean,
I guess I got to go with Caleb Johnson here.
the big boy.
I like Caleb
Yeah.
Johnson. like Caleb
Dude,
Johnson.
one thing I've seen about him that just in some of the videos that I watched is the vision that he has.
Yeah.
Even though he's not really that fast, but what he ran like a 4.6 or something.
Yeah, I mean, his 40 time was much slower than I thought he looked when I watched him play.
Yeah.
For a bigger back, he has breakaway speed. Like,
Mhm.
at least on film, right? Like, he's running away from defenders. If he shoots the gap and he's got a full head of steam, he takes off. Like, 60-plus yard runs, he has that in his game.
Dude, Klopper is such a Steelers fan.
Dude, he looks like when
He
you know
looks like a Steelers player. I know.
that's the uniform.
Yeah, well, yeah, but also he's a fat running back.
Not even the
Y'all love
uniform, he's
fat
just
running
the
backs.
play style. Yeah, I think Judkins or Caleb Johnson fit right into Pittsburgh for
Yeah.
what they like to do and how they play football and how they historically have won.
So
So,
hopefully, if they want either of those guys, they'll probably have to wait to the second for him.
Yeah.
But that's definitely a real possibility. Probably more so for Johnson to fall that far.
yeah.
I feel like Judkins probably be a second round pick, but yeah, dude, I would love the Steelers to get Johnson for sure. But I don't care where he goes. I like him.
I agree. So who's the pick here at the start of the second round?
Yeah, 2-1. I'm gonna go Burden. I like Burden. I think he was the one guy who made that one. I can't remember.
He's the Debo Samuel-esque guy. He's a little bit
Okay.
smaller, plays a lot out of the slot.
I think we didn't show
That's cool.
us a good highlight of him one time. I think he just caught a regular ass ball.
He might have.
Yeah. So.
I might have tricked you because of my own opinion of Luther Burden.
You don't think he's good? Whoa.
I do think he's good.
He just drafted younger, like Jordan Addison. You know, what's the guy from that played for New York for a long time? Sterling Shepard. You just drafted
I'll be cool
young
with that.
Sterling Shepard.
Oh, I'll be cool with that.
I mean, he's got to be more talented than that, right? Like, I have a couple issues with Luther Burden.
His
First
name
of
is
all-
Luther.
I mean, he
Lex
has a
Luthor.
sick name. I like Luther Burden, like the third or second or the center. Or I don't know what it is. He's got a number there too, as well. At least he did in college. But he's got a few concerns for me. And first off, I know the quarterback situation was really rough in Mizzou this year, but he was so much better the year before statistically.
Yeah.
Like just more than twice the numbers he put up this season. He didn't even lead the team in receiving yards this year.
Yeah.
And I can't even tell you the name of the other guy.
Yikes.
So, I mean, it's a tough situation, and it's hard to blame it on him. The talent has flashed before. But there's other players in this class that I also really liked their previous season that didn't live up to the hype this year.
Yeah.
And they're not getting the same kind of respect and draft service as Luther Burden. So,
Yeah.
You know who else was like that? It's Matthew Goldman.
yeah.
Great year in 2023. Not so good in 24. I mean,
Yeah, not nearly as good this year until the playoffs hit, right? Like, he went nuclear in the playoffs, and that's when everybody was like, holy crap, this kid might be good.
Matthew Golden does seem a lot more normal player. Like if you look at Burden's player card, He looks a little freaky.
Dude, he looks.
That looks
He
like
just-
a wide receiver who's
that's
going to
a
run you
gangster,
over, though,
Yeah,
right? Like, that's
I'm cool with that, but
5'11", 205, like, that's a small running back.
yeah, it really is. I mean, you got Devontae Smith out here at 165 or something.
Yeah, seriously.
So,
So this goes to me then at
yes,
202?
sir. Yes, sir.
Well, that does make it tough.
You can get your guy.
Because-
You can get your boy.
I think there's quite a tier break at running back here. Oh, man. Just based on what I've seen the last few years, and we're not in the first round anymore, so I'm willing to do it. I'll take Colston Loveland. Give me the tight end. I also think he has a good shot of being a first round pick. So, I at least get first round talent in the early second round. He is a big boy.
6'5",
Yeah, so as you can see there, 6'5", 245. And he moves like a receiver. He's one of those guys, but he can do it all. I'm confident in him lining up in line as a tight end as well, and not being used as a blocker.
Yeah.
So
He looks like a fun guy to have.
hopefully, right?
We're getting in for me with guys that I'm not too familiar with.
Yeah.
So here, this is the fun part, right? Because like you said, we're not too familiar with these guys. And most of that is because the ranges of outcomes come draft day on these guys. So Devin Neal is probably the next running back, I would say, by like most people's judgments.
He wasn't on the highlight draft, so I never even looked at him.
Exactly, right? Like that's how much things have changed. Devin Neal was probably running back 19 or so back when we did that, and now he's people's 6, 7, 8 range. But I've seen him go as early as late second round to being a 6th round pick in people's mock drafts. So it's really tough to know. There's so many running backs available that all have a lot of talent that it's gonna come down to like an NFL team's preference of player. That really makes the difference on draft capital here, in my opinion.
Well, I didn't want to take Milroe before Sanders, but I'm going to.
I'm not mad at
the
it.
other guy that he's another guy that's been linked to the Steelers. Not
So-
that really matters, but as far as upside pick that you want, he definitely has a lot more of that than Shador Sanders.
Yeah,
He's
I mean,
got
he
a
gives you
cannon of an arm,
the
man. He
rushing
can-
ability too.
Yeah. I'm thinking about it with like Justin Fields. Like he was a starter for 4 years, but you got QB1 numbers out of him.
Yeah, the whole
For
time.
2 out of 4 of those years. And if Jalen Milroe gets a chance to start, that's what you're going to have. Now, the only risk is what's the guy that went to San Francisco and played like 2 games?
Trey Lance.
Trey Lance. I mean,
Yeah.
that would be the risk. But
Where did Trey Lance go?
he was like a number 2 or number 3.
No, like his college.
The same one as
North
UCLA, or is it North
wasn't,
Dakota?
it was
Like
like
North
wasn't
Dakota.
like a huge one, right?
Yeah, it's North Dakota.
That's the thing that I was going to say about quarterbacks. I don't want to tip my hand too much with the draft, but since I'm giving out a lot of information here, I think that there's something to be said about like Dylan Gabriel and Will Howard. That they went to big schools, they played really well, and they've won. I think Dylan Gabriel won the year before, but they played in the championship. Like they've won championships. I think there's a big thing there. And like everybody hated Bo Nix or whatever, they didn't think he was that high. Like that dude's good now. Like he went to a big school, y'all overlooked it because like, oh well, he doesn't have this fundamental. Like I know fucking football, I don't. Like you know what I mean? Like oh
Right.
yeah, there's not a tight spiral. So like but like these guys are shown that they can play football like in a high level because it's college, like it's college championships.
As for Jalen Milroe, there is a debate on whether he played at a high level.
Well,
Yeah, that's what I would say. Is I don't think Jalen Milroe is good at football. That is my own opinion.
yeah.
And it feels pretty split. I could absolutely be wrong, especially for fantasy purposes. I could totally be wrong. I wouldn't even say Anthony Richardson is good at football. I wouldn't even call him bad at football. I'd call him terrible at
Yeah.
football. And I'm still at least, somewhat, there's a part of me that's like, kind of like with Kyle Pitts for a few years where it's like, I can't give up, Like I saw those 40-point games early on. But the interesting thing about Milroe, the NFL invited him to the draft to sit in the lobby for the first round. He accepted the invite. You don't accept the invite if you're not expecting to be picked.
They don't invite you unless.
That's what I'm saying. Unless they are expecting you to have a good chance of being picked, they only invite, I think, about 40+ players, something a little over that.
That's cool.
So, I mean, the NFL circles and Jalen Morrow himself are both on the same page where they think there's a good shot he's a first round pick.
Yeah.
And if he's a first round pick, he should probably go where Dart went. Realistically, like if he's going to go to one of those later teams, because the upside's higher, in my opinion. So.
No, I agree. I just like that he went to Alabama. I mean, there's been a lot of Alabama quarterbacks that have shown that they're good. Like,
yeah,
he was close to winning a national championship the year before.
Was
so it was overtime.
Overtime.
Well, no, did they lose the championship or the week before? I know they lost in Michigan, but I don't know if it was in the actual.
Yes, I know Michigan won. I can't remember who they beat.
Yeah. So I think I'm gonna go Isaiah Bond here. I think he's a quick guy.
The other Texas receiver.
Yeah, I think he's a quick guy. I think a lot of teams like that. So if they're gonna invest some capital into him, plus I got the Burden guy. I get kind of like one of them's got to hit, right? So even though you don't normally get 6 picks, but
yeah,
here we are. I got 6 of them. So.
Yeah, everybody traded their picks to these 3 guys in this league.
Yeah.
Somehow we managed.
We're raking bacon, baby. Yeah. I mean, this is free. Yeah, I think a lot of the stuff about Bond is almost like artificially down on him, just because he went out of his way to talk about breaking the 40-time record.
Yeah.
And then he put up like a good, not great time.
Yeah. But he was saying he was going to be like 4.2.
Yeah, he was like, I might run 4.1s.
Yeah.
You don't say you're going to run 4.1s then run a 4.4, you know? Like, that's just not... it makes you look, like, very non-self-aware, you know? Yeah. Which is, a red flag to some people, but at the end of the day, it doesn't affect them on the field too much, I would imagine.
Yeah.
I'm going to give a little preview of next week and how I feel about a certain player.
Nice.
Unfortunately, this is going to be Cam Scatterby for me.
Whoa, Scatterby.
I don't know if the NFL is going to agree with me, right? Like, this is the kind of thing where I'm not even expecting him to be, RB6 I'm taking him at?
Yeah.
I'm not expecting him to be the RB6 off the board come draft day in the NFL.
Yeah.
But if it were up to me, he'd probably go above Caleb Johnson. Like, I think that highly of him.
I like him.
It's one of those things, too, where, like, when I watch him play, he does these really slow lateral movement cuts and stuff, but they work every damn time. Nobody can tackle the guy. Yeah. He is an absolute machine.
Dude, if they're bracing for contact, the move works a little bit better.
Yeah, right?
Yeah.
Exactly. So
you're not expecting Derrick Henry to juke you. You know, he's ready to go through you. So, like, when he doesn't,
So, yeah, that's probably my pick, but that's just because now we're in the range where, like, for me, I'm not taking receivers, period.
Yeah.
Once we hit the mid-second round of rookie drafts,
so basically you're scared.
I'm not going to draft pretty much any of these guys unless they're first round picks.
Basically you're scared, I get it.
Yeah, I'm scared of the history.
Hey!
Put this up there.
There's some guys that are interesting to me in this range, but like it's just so tough. Yeah. You know, it feels like a sub 50% hit rate of getting a guy with like real difference-making upside at wide receiver in this range.
Yeah.
Well, dude, wide receiver definitely has the best track record for late round picks. Blossom into.
Yeah, but it's like it's almost like
there's so many of them.
It's like a philosophical way of going about it for me is I don't want Jacoby Myers. With my second round pick. Like if it turns into Jacoby Myers, I'm stuck with that asset forever. And now I have to be like, okay,
I would love Jacoby Myers.
I agree. I think Jacoby Myers is super undervalued, right? I totally agree with that. But that's the thing. Jacoby Myers is super undervalued because he's Jacoby Myers. People don't care about the name. Yeah, like it doesn't matter what numbers he puts up. They don't care about the name. So I can't get anything for him. Meaning I have to make a plan for him to be a part of my team. And for me, it's like I don't like having excess of guys of his talent level sitting on my bench every week.
Yeah.
Which means I have to trade somebody I do like that's probably better than him, just so I have to have him in my lineup because I can't trade him and get what he's actually worth.
Well, that's what the way I would think about it is like these guys. Some of these guys that go later, the wide receivers that go later, they're going to be dropped. They're going to be on free agency. Yeah. So when they do get good, you still got a chance of getting them again.
Right.
Here's another philosophical.
I have no problem trading for a guy and saying,
I'm stuck with this guy. Because I know nobody's ever going to trade for him. But you're like the opposite. Like you're like, no, I got to keep this guy. I can't trade him.
Well, that's the thing, right? It's different for me on draft day. Like when I'm drafting a rookie, I'm drafting them with like hope, right? Like you get the hopium and the rookie fever when you draft somebody, and you're like, oh, it's all sunshine and roses. But if I get Tyler Boyd, I can't do anything with Tyler Boyd, even if he's good.
Right.
Like it's just kind of how, in my opinion, it works out. Whereas if I take Cam Scatabo or Ollie Gordon or insert name, and the starter on their team gets hurt for the year, and they're this year's Jordan Mason, and they just pop off as a rookie, it's like, okay, well now I can get a first round pick for them.
So let's say I don't know, Devin Neal, maybe Ollie Gordon.
Yeah.
Not as much name, not as much hype.
Yeah.
So like they might be drafted back to back, but Ollie is still going to be but Scatabo is still going to be easier to trade.
Right.
Than Ollie.
Yep.
Speaking of which, I'm taking Ollie next.
Ollie.
Yeah.
I think Ollie's a good pick. I would rather have Ollie than you.
I loved Ollie, man. You guys know that was my RB1 coming into the college football season. So coming off of a 2,000-yard season right before this one, obviously did not live up to the hype and the expectations, but the team was bad. It wasn't a good season for them. Yeah, I like him. Big physical player.
In a lot of ways, he's like kind of like the opposite of Scatabo or Johnson, where like big physical freak, but like the other stuff, the football stuff.
Yeah.
Maybe that's where he's lacking a little bit. Like I've heard people say his vision is really bad.
Yeah, I've seen some people talk about that.
He's a big boy. Yeah, I think as much as I want to be disrespectful to Shedeur Sanders, I don't think I can let him go for.
This is about where it was for me. It was like
yeah.
there's probably a 50-50 shot he's a
It's
first
like
round pick. Mid-second, you almost have to make a pick.
I think it's enough value to keep him there, so I'm cool with taking him there, even though I just wouldn't want him on my team. He's definitely gonna he's hitting my taxes for sure.
Yeah, I don't want him, but like, I mean, I don't think it's gonna happen. But who's to say he doesn't go to the Giants at pick 3 or 4 or whatever? Like, it's not out of the world of possibility that a QB needy team picks him early. But in my opinion, if he doesn't get picked early, he might slide for a while because some of these teams like Pittsburgh, I don't think they're taking a shot on a guy like Shedeur Sanders.
Oh no,
it's like
I hope not.
I just don't see it happening. So, and they're like the only QB needy team in the back half of the draft. So, even the teams that are good, that are like, oh, we can take somebody under like, an older veteran's wing, they're still going to prefer Jackson Dart, in my opinion, So, yeah, we'll see, but it's a good pick right there. It's a good value. For me, it just becomes Devin Neal here then. Just my next best running back. I do really like his vision. He seems to make nice reads at the line of scrimmage.
He looks like a good guy.
Oh, I mean, it just looks like a running back, right?
He's a swell guy.
They got a lot.
Great smile on Devin Neal.
A lot of these guys are up in the 200, and
yeah, man.
There's a lot of them almost 6 foot.
But he does a great job of getting his foot in the dirt and getting upfield. And that's just something I really look for in running backs. I hate when everybody's just repeatedly trying to bounce it outside. I think that's a bad sign for the most part in college. Because you're relying on your athleticism, and you can't do that as often in the NFL.
Don't tell that to Genty either. He's always doing that.
Hey, well, yeah, if if it works every single time, I can't stop you.
Don't tell that to Saquon.
If those 11 men can't stop me, I can't. So.
There's no little running backs in this draft.
5'9", 215 is a thick man.
That is a big boy.
Here's a big boy, baby. Actually, no, 215.
Yeah.
He plays bigger than 215.
Yeah, he does.
Is it on me now?
Yeah, it is you.
It is up to you.
Waiting on you. Waiting on a woman.
You know what? I'm going with Restrepo.
Yeah?
Yeah, I'm just going to trade him to Brandon.
There you go. Yep. Shout out to Brandon.
Yeah.
Get a different
The
second
only
round
thing I
pick
know
for
about
him.
him is like
It is this bum.
some guy from Miami.
Rest Repo?
Well, supposedly he's the guy that ran like a 4.75 40 or something.
He ran a lot slower than people were expecting.
But he also, you can watch before, you watch him warming up before the actual running of it, and you could see him sort of wince and grab the back of his leg.
Oh, he might have been a little.
That's what he said after the fact.
Yeah, but he claims to have been a little bit gimpy during it. So
I would too. would too.
Yeah, you run that
What
slow,
are you
right?
trying to say? You trying to say he's just making
If I
it
was
up?
slow, I would say I was hurt too.
Oh, you would lie?
Oh, absolutely.
I don't think Restrepo's a liar.
I think he has the name of a liar, if you ask me.
Yeah, no honest man's name is Xavier Restrepo.
So this is going to be a little bit hot, but I'm going to go Donovan Edwards.
I don't mind that.
I think he's a good back, and like the year before, man, he was really high.
He was a lot higher coming into this season.
Yeah,
People liked him a lot.
Michigan, and that they won, right? So I'm cool with Donovan Edwards, like late round flyer.
Yeah, he's solid. I mean, he's
He is solid.
he is a solid man.
6 foot.
But yeah, I mean, it's like we've been saying, right? Like all these running backs have super similar ranges of outcomes.
Yeah.
I'm going to break with tradition here, and I'm going to take Trey Harris. It's just too far for me at this point.
You can have him.
I love the film, man, and I love
Old
all the
Mr.
advanced
Sears.
analytics. Everything points up for this guy, except for like breakout age and the fact that he's never done it until this year. Like he was nuclear good this year.
So
Yeah.
is Xavier Leggett.
Right.
Kind of.
It's kind of like that, where it's like, okay, well, it looks good on film. And the one small difference here is, like, even analytically, this season was super elite. But just not having the track record of doing it when you're younger, and now that you're a little bit older, you dominate against the 20-year-olds, like, makes sense, right? But, I mean, he just looks incredible. He's one of those, kind of like you said about A.J. Brown.
He's an old
Almost
Mr.
called
Sears.
A.J. Green. almost disrespected A.J. Green
Yeah. Well, what?
by comparing him to A.J. Brown, but just throwing that out there. Hot take.
You can tell there's a Commanders fan in the room. 6'3", 210.
Yeah, I mean, he's
That's
just a
pretty
big,
lanky.
fast man. He just breaks tackles and takes off, so.
Yeah. Not bad. I can deal with that. Old Miss receiver. A big old Miss receiver. Imagine that.
You're right.
if, just based off of last year, the way you're saying it, this guy could be a lot more wanted by the NFL than what we think.
Yeah.
Look at Xavier
Yeah.
Leggett. Like, nobody, he was going
Right.
this range after he was drafted in the
And
first
Ricky
round.
Pearsall, right? Like, just the larger body receivers. And that's actually a really good point, and I didn't even think about mentioning it. Outside of Tet, there really isn't another receiver in this class that's like the
Big
prototypical X, right? To play outside and be the dominant number one. Like, all these guys are a little bit shorter or lighter, or have a history of playing in the slot. The other one is Jaden Higgins, I believe, is the other receiver I'm thinking of. Jaden Higgins. He's the other guy who's a little bit bigger.
6'4", baby.
I'm a big fan of him as well.
I like big boys.
But you guys know me, I'd fall for the big
Size
boys.
queen.
Yeah, I'm definitely a size queen when it comes to my wide receivers. So
Yeah.
Hold on, I'm going with Arroyo for my pick.
Arroyo?
Yeah.
I don't mind that.
I don't have a tight end yet, so now I have a tight end.
Arroyo.
And honestly, Arroyo and probably Mason Taylor, and maybe even Harold Fannin all have pretty good odds of being like second round picks.
Yeah,
It's
they're
just,
not-
I mean, every mock I've
okay.
seen, there's 4 or 5 tight ends in the first 2 rounds. It's a really good class, at least from what it seems like the NFL thinks about it. So
What I end up noticing in my drafts is I end up with more tight ends than everybody else because everybody's peppering the 3rd, 4th, 5th round receivers, and there's a 2nd round tight end. I'm going to take him.
yeah. Sometimes just let the NFL tell you what to do, right?
Yeah, exactly. And that's all we're doing.
All we're doing?
Yeah, we're just doing 2 rounds.
You got an honorable mention, maybe? Who's your next best
Oh,
player?
man.
Oh yeah, for sure. I was gonna pick him regardless of whether it was one or not. Will Howard.
Will Howard, that's the guy.
Dude, he's literally the same size as Josh Allen. I'm like, come on.
He is.
Come
I don't think he throws the ball quite as hard
You
or
don't know-
jumps
you
over
don't know.
linebackers
You don't
quite
know.
as well.
You don't know that.
Go to the all so I can see. Maybe I'll give you the name.
You ain't gonna give it. You want me to go down or?
I don't know any of these guys. I don't
Jaden
have,
Higgins?
okay, Jaden Higgins. Why do I need him as my?
That's a great name. Love
Okay.
that name.
Yeah, that's my honorable mention.
So yeah, we already, we brought him up a little bit, and then we also talked about Mason Taylor and Harold Fannin just now. at the tight end position. But I'll go a little bit deeper. And this one is really going to be draft capital dependent just because of the type of player he is. Basil Tootin is the running back who he had the fastest 40 this year at the combine.
I remember you really liked him.
I was a big fan before he did that, and that hasn't changed much for me now.
That was your sleeper.
But it is the kind of player where I'm not expecting him to be like a lead back. He needs to land in the backfield where it's like, oh, they don't have that second change of pace guy. Like maybe, like if the Chargers, they have Najee, right?
Yeah.
If they don't draft a running back until round 4 and it's Basil Tootin,
Oh yeah.
I'm interested in Basil Tootin for sure. Like he's going to get his 10 to 15 touches in that offense as well if they're just going to pound the rock. So
it'd be like Dave Montgomery and Jahmyr Gibbs.
right, yeah, I'm looking for that role, like the secondary guy out of him. Even somebody like Jalen Warren, like we just said about Najee Harris, right? Like we've seen that work. Quote unquote. We've seen it done. I don't know if we want to say it worked.
Well, you definitely have brought him up in the one. I think it was after the combine when you brought him.